Hey, what's up, guys? Man, what a nice day today. So, quick opener. We're back on the Cummins today. We're going to do a final valve set. Get the jakes on, set the jakes, get the valve covers on, start it up, test the jakes, make sure it's good. Then we're going to put the clutch, flywheel, transmission on, get that all good, and then we'll get it picked up, get the oil drained out of it, get the oil pan off it, and get it ready to go in the truck. Just got off the phone with Todd. He said he'd rather roll the bearings in the truck frame rather than try and roll the engine over safely on the ground. Don't know if you guys have ever tried to take one of these engines and flip it over when it's fully assembled. There's nothing fun about it. So I'm going to get it ready to get in the truck. I'm going to give him a call. We're going to slap it in. Then I'm going to give him the bearings and have him just come over, roll new bearings in it, and put the oil pan on, and this truck will be bing bang boom ready to run. So I'm going to switch over to the head cam while I do the valves, and we'll get after it. Alright, so we're just going to go through right quick and get some of these Alright, so we're just going to go through and get these off. You know, it's frustrating because those hooks bend and then they bend into the bolt and then it sucks. Okay, so we're on B, and these are both loose, so we're going to set them. Okay, insides are intake, outsides are exhaust. So do this exhaust, and we're going to do 14 or 23. Okay. It's a little loose, and that sucks because you think you get it and then you do the final tighten. Probably should have wire wheeled that rust off of there. But I don't know, burping a lot. So a deep box offset double box and wrench would be nice. This is skosh tight, I think. Yeah, because it actually pushes the valve down a little bit. This is rather frustrating. Good. Yeah. Okay. This is an intake, so it gets 11. Too loose, damn it. And this is a long process because, you know, that's a little bit too loose. And you think you get it, and then you tighten it up, and then it's not even close, you know. And it happens over and over. Nope, still too loose. And the ideal thing is to have the screwdriver through a socket, and then, you know, just so much nicer. Okay, I like it. And then we're going to do injector number 3. 1, 2, 3. And injector 3 is going to be a little bit different because this is where we're going to torque. We're going to use 6 inch-pounds of torque. Okay. Now we're going to roll this around to A, or C, I mean. See. Three. It should be 3 and 4. He probably ain't biting you hard.
No, he was doing what Odin does right before he starts biting her.
Oh, yeah.
His little love nip.
Yep. Yeah. You know, why can't I just get it? It's being a pain in the ass. God, it's either sloppy or I can't get it out because it's too tight.
And it's not like what was on the other motor?
No.
Or how the other motor did that same thing?
Well, they all do the same thing because this is a stupid design.
But you remember how we went over all of them and then went back and it was like we never did them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's because the other one was bent, and this is just micro-fine tuning.
Are those your orange dots?
Yeah.
Oh, I just rubbed one off a little bit.
That's good enough. Okay, so I need to make sure that all of these are tight. I got to do one more injector, which should be... Read what B says.
Where?
On my phone. Right here, duh.
Duh.
B what?
5 or 2 valve, 6 or 1 injector.
5. See, that seems wrong. Nope. Nope, I like it. And 5 valve, 6 injector?
Yep.
Okay. That's where I was. Hold this. Okay, hold that. And this. Give me this. Oh, give me that. Okay, so. All right, so what I'm doing is just cleaning up these gaskets. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, James, what in the hell are you doing using 20-year-old gaskets? Well, let me tell you something. These Cummins gaskets ain't no joke, bro. I've had candy apart a dozen times with the same gaskets, and that thing is just leak free as can get. So I don't know what they're made out of, or if there's just no oil going up there for it to leak out of. But these gaskets are pretty tough, and I'm going to reuse them. Worst case scenario is I have to pull a Jake and change a leaky gasket, but you know, to be honest with you, it's not been an issue. If I had some new ones, well, let me just look right quick just to make sure, because maybe I do. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't. But let me just look. These are different Jakes than what I have gaskets for, so these are gonna get used gaskets, and we're gonna hope for the best. And it's gonna work just fine. It really is gonna work just fine. Let me see this one. I'm going to clean off the gasket surface a little bit. We're going to take this thing. I'm going to get this big mud dauber nest out of there. And you know, mud daubers, they'll build a nest anywhere they see fit. And you'll just like it. If you don't believe it, you just ask them. Hey babe, you remember that seal I told you not to lose?
Yeah.
That little rubber thing?
Yeah.
I need it. I need to turn that around so that it actually fits. I wish I had those new little rubbers. But I don't. So I think these are all the same. I'm going to be careful with this one just in case, but I want to say these valve cover gaskets are all the same, and I have new ones. This has a couple of dauber nests in there, so I'm going to clean those out real quick.
Like a glove. Okay, we got to be super careful here. Okay.
All right, so this engine's clean, and we're gonna dry it. We're going to touch up the paint. Before it gets up into the truck. And we're not trying to simulate a new engine. What we're trying to do is just protect this one from any further rust or whatever. All of my trucks are online, and all of my videos are working on my line, so nobody would even think that this was a new engine. Anybody who's asked me about any of the stuff I have for sale, I pointed them to my videos. Fusion satin khaki, and it's I think it's a pretty close match. Caw caw. Time for breakfast. I'll be right back. Okay, so back to it. Just ate some breakfast, and I'm just gonna touch up this side of the motor and, you know, keep that rust from getting any worse. I couldn't find my darn dish soap, so I couldn't get some soap down on the ground to get rid of some of that degreaser. But it's all right. All right, so paint's touched up. We're gonna get the starter back on and flywheel, and we're gonna start it up, put the fuel system up again, start it up, make sure it runs good with the jakes installed. Make sure it runs good with the jakes installed, and we'll probably stick a water hose in. I don't know, but we want to make sure that it runs good. I re-ran the valves, retorqued all the rocker boxes, put the jakes on. Now we only have 2 jakes that work, 1 that doesn't. We'll remedy that. I put it on the front so a guy could bing bang boom pop that baby on. We're going to make sure, maybe while it's running, I'll run a file in there and clean up that pulley, or maybe I'll just get another pulley. That's something that I can do while it's in the truck. Might find a good balancer and a good pulley. This one's really, really rusty. I could just take the grinder, start it up, and run the wire wheel in there, clean it up. We'll see. Also got to hook this up. I really hope that this block isn't cracked, or there's nothing going to be putting water in there once I do water it up, because it's going to be kind of annoying to try and repair anything while it's inside the truck. But I don't have any way of, I don't have an engine run cradle with cooling system and a way to get it pressurized, so I'm just going to roll the dice that it's good. And yeah, we got to put the boost reference tube on, and we've got to put a starter on, and we got to get the fuel system back hooked up, and get some batteries. We'll probably get the batteries out of Candy right now while this paint dries. Those batteries need to be refreshed anyways, so we'll bring them over and we'll get the charger on them, and then after we're done playing with this engine, we'll get them in there and get them refurbed. I think the engine looks pretty good. That paint's pretty nice. It does run a little bit, but I think if we can get it installed without scratching it up too bad, it'll be a nice looking rig. So yeah, there you have it. Let's go get those batteries off Candy. All right, so we had a little break, and looks like the paint's dried up nice, and should be good to go. We'll go ahead and get the starter back on. We'll get our electrical cables ran. We'll get some fuel lines ran, and we'll get some pressure back on this thing from the forklift, and we'll start it up, and it should just sit there without any trouble, and we'll test fire the jakes. We'll have to configure some electrical to do that, but we'll test fire the jakes and see how that goes. Let's get after it. so much easier to put a starter on out here than when it's on a truck. Wow, so nice. All right. Yeah, just some hot dogs and some burgers and some steaks and some more Coke Zeros.
Yep.
And then pickles.
It's inching closer.
I love you, Mama.
Closer. I love you too.
All right, come and see me when you get back. Be careful, okay? There's mean people out in the world.
Yeah, crazy people out there.
Crazy cooter coming at you. I love you, Mama. I'll see you back in a little bit. All right, you guys can see okay? And we still have a little bit of weight on the forklift. I'm guessing this isn't going to go very far. We're going to see what happens. I think I got the fuel off. Alright, so carries 30 pounds idling, 40 pounds revving. Doesn't sound like it's hitting the RPMs that it should be, but I'm not even sure what this pump is off of. So we may turn that up, we may not. We'll see what it looks like in the truck. But I'm super happy with the way it is right now. I think I'm going to put the clutch and transmission on and call my cousin, tell him we're ready to go. See if he can come tonight and slap it in there. It'd be super cool to get it set in on the mounts, and then tomorrow I'm busy all day. Maybe I don't know, maybe this Friday or Saturday I can have it turnkey in the truck. I mean, there's not a whole lot that has to be done. This still worries me. We're going to try and find a way to test that right quick, and maybe that's not cracked, and then we can just bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. But anyways, that's good. Sounds good. Doesn't sound loose. Doesn't sound tight. The jakes work. This one works really good. This one's a little slow. Might have a leak from that O-ring, but that's something we can change in the truck as well. We're not even sure we're going to use the jakes. We're going to use the jakes, but we are going to we're going to source another one of these tech brakes, and we'll get it on, and we may take the center one out and change that O-ring. It's very simple to do. Pop this off, valve cover off, 6 nuts, jakes off, replace, jakes on, bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. And I see oil down in there, so it looks like it was oiling. And that's it for now. We'll bring it back when it's time to do the clutch. My back can take it. If I had a way, I'd cut this off so we could build the clutch on this, but I don't have a way, so. Okay, so it's easy to put a clutch on from the ground. You know, use leverage, lift it up there, get some pins in place, put that in, a couple of bolts, and it's good to go. So we put this so the adjuster is on the bottom. That's where the engine stopped, and normally these engines will stop in a certain place, and you want to put the clutch adjustment down there. Makes it easier than having to have a buddy bump it over all the time. But all right, let's see what we got. All right, these should be grade 8. They are. They have a lock washer, so we're still going to use a little blue Loctite. Let me get some. Shouldn't be hard. I'll just bend down and grab that dude and put it up in there. These are heavy. They weigh around 80 pounds, 90 pounds. So let's just see. Ready? Just kidding. That thing is 1,400 pounds or something, 750, something crazy out there. So we're going to put these bolts in. We'll get the chain. We'll grab the forklift. We'll pick this thing up. You guys really didn't think I was going to try and do that by hand, did you? That's funny, isn't it? Okay, this is tight. Okay. Well, that'd suck, really. Okay, so we got to do that and that at the same time. Alright, now I need some bolts to hold that thing together. Clutch works. We're gonna find some smaller washers. Be back. preparation. I hope Todd can make it tonight. He might not, but in preparation for him to make it, I'm going to get all these oil pan bolts out so we can lift this engine up off the pan. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, this oil pan was clean, and now it's not. So there's a lot of shit. Man, oh man. A lot of metal and stuff in there. Oh boy. I would say from eating those cam bearings probably. I mean, the only thing we can do is it's got a ton of bearing material in there. So the only thing we can really do is put it back together and feels like carbon. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna put it back together with the other pan. It'll be clean. We'll put yeah, put it back together and see what happens. Once we run it on the other pan with all new oil, we'll drain the oil out after. Well, we'll run it. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Put it in, put the other pan on it, hook it all up to water, water it up, keep an eye on the oil. And if there's no cracks and no water leaks, we'll do the bottom end after a while. We're not going to do it right away. We'll get it running, make sure there's no leaks, make sure the bottom end stays together. There's a lot of metal in that pan and other shit. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully this wasn't a waste of time. I mean, if it was just time. I only got about 2,000, maybe 2,500 bucks in this whole project. But I do have 100 hours or so, maybe more. But the thing is, the engine runs really good. It does carry oil pressure. There's no knocks. We'll water it up, warm it up, make sure there's no water leaks, pressurize the system, make sure there's nothing's going into the cylinders. I would really like to pressure test this thing, but I don't know how to do it. I don't have any of the stuff that it would take. I mean, I'd have to make a fitting and put a gauge on it and then air the thing up and see if it holds. May do that. You want to see the debris in the oil pan. There it is. It's pretty hideous, actually.